remembering that there will be ample time to share all of your stories and memories during the reception, around tables, and as we go from here. If anyone would like to share, you're welcome to come forward, and if more than one are moving at once, please feel free to sit close by so that you can come up and share after the person who's going.
I'll be as brief as I can. I'm Corin. I was Andrew's neighbor across the street for the better part of my life. His grandmother was originally the owner of the house across the street from mine. And my first memory of Andrew was kindergarten. We almost got into a fist fight. But we bonded shortly after that when we realized that our parents were in the same industry. And we became really good friends. And at 7 years old, he pulled me out of a swimming pool I had no business being in. I wouldn't be here if not for that man. And, well, over the years, it was always like he was there when I really needed him to be there. One of my favorite stories is I was poor as hell at the time. I was just begging for some kind of miracle, and he just randomly pops across the street, knocks on my door. He's like, I got this jacket. It's pretty nice, but it doesn't fit me so well. And it's worth $800. Do you want it? And then I had $50 in my bank account. I'm like, sure. And he says, yeah, if it doesn't fit you, go ahead and sell it or whatever. And so I was like, all right, well, let's try this on. And much to my great disappointment, it fit me. Over the years, he pulled me out of the drink, and me and my family, we kept trying. Cathie and he were very dear family friends of ours, and I always wish I could do more, but I'll close on this. It's given me comfort every single time I've had to bury a friend, and I give you this one thought to keep. I am not gone. I do not sleep. I am the thousand winds that blow. I am the diamond glints on snow. I am the sun on ripened grain. I am the gentle autumn rain. When you wake in morning's hush, I am the swift uplifting rush of quiet birds in circled flight. I am soft stars that shine at night. Stand not at my grave and cry, I am not there. I did not die. I'm just glad that the last conversation that I had with Andrew ended with both of us saying, I love you, man. So I'm going to say it one more time. I love you, brother. Wherever you are, save me a spot. See you on the other side.
Hi, everybody. I'm Toby Atao, close friend of Andrew's. This isn't funeral attire. This is what I would wear on a night out with Andrew. Only thing missing are big Gucci loafers you'd wear or something. Yeah, Andrew's somebody that's very special, of course. We're all here to honor and support him. I'm glad to be part of the community that that supported him and that he shared walks with. As we know what he struggled with, I think it's important to highlight so many of the strengths that he brought to the table and what he highlighted in the way he lived his life. Andrew's somebody that showed me a lot in going for what you want, taking the risk. I think the biggest denominator with Andrew is he is a risk taker. He took risks with his heart. As we know, he loved women. And the story was always, a random errand of him going to the mailbox or going to the mall for something, and he would say, "Tobe, I met somebody." And again, it's one of those things where he takes the risk. He goes out there, he sparks a conversation, they find common interests, they share a meal, and he comes back, I think she might be the one. So I used to say to him, Andrew, you love to love too much. In joking, but in reality, that was his heart, and that's how he expressed himself to every one of us here. We know that he loved hard. He was always a part of our lives in the deepest way. Maybe it was because he was the only child, but whenever he had your audience, he immersed himself in your world. He took risks leaving the Bay Area, going down to La Jolla. You know, he's a generational Berkeleyan, and to decide that he wanted to start a new chapter, that was a big risk. It served him well at a time, but it's, you know, from taking the good parts of that, you learn that you do have to take those risks sometimes, get yourself out of a comfortable situation and forge ahead with life. And he tried many times to continue that. He also took risks in business. You know, I had lunch with a very important mentor of mine yesterday, and he mentioned Andrew tried to grow lobster in his backyard at some point. And it's just, that's an Andrew thing, you know, and there's so many other things that he talked to me about. You know, there was some type of special bird that laid eggs once every decade, and, you know, he just knew about that stuff, and he would find ways to try to bring it to light and amplify it. So, you know, just thinking about all these things, you know, you don't realize how much somebody gets into your ecosystem after knowing them for over 22 years. You know, I watch a TV show about a hotel, and I think of Andrew. You know, a Michelin restaurant pops up in a magazine, I think of Andrew. I do hope that those things are in your hearts as well. I do hope that you all take that into your lives. The best parts of Andrew will make all of us unstoppable. Thank you.
My name is Dylan, and I'm a high school friend of Andrew Kosel's. It's hard to summarize such a magnificent character of a friend in just a few sentences. You know, I didn't play football with him, but I remember he was the most enthusiastic and energetic friend on the Little League field. His smile and strength of character could light up a whole room. Andrew was fearless in his pursuits and very accomplishment-driven. I remember speaking to Andrew after we both finished college, and he was so passionate about showing me his house in Albany that he had got a good price on, fixed up, and moved into. That was Andrew. He did everything with passion and wholeheartedness. I know from the personal grief of losing my father that it does take a village to get through it. So this is an imperative time for us friends, family, and gauchos to really come together, help each other through this difficult loss of our friend and brother. The entire Bay Area and us Earthlings lost the most joyful human being. But if they have football in heaven, and golf courses, of course, then Andrew, please take your mother to a few games and continue playing golf. I love you to the moon and back, Andrew.
Everyone doing all right in here? I'm Kenny. I grew up with Andrew, and it's kind of eerie to be back here again so soon as we did a celebration of life for his mother in here as well. Andrew loved each and every one of you. I want you to know that, and I think you all felt his love. Boisterous character. I met him at a sleepover in 8th grade, and I just said, "Who is this guy?" Laughing at his own jokes before we had an opportunity to respond to him, like running all over the place. I think where's my sleeping, who is, and I had a very different impression of him by the time I got to summer football our freshman year. And football has a way of, they say like playing, competitive sports builds character. Others would say it reveals it. I think it did both simultaneously for Andrew in a way that, garnered a lot of respect among his teammates. Friends, you already know. Teammates, you were family to him. And he treated you like family even when it wasn't easy. And I think you in exchange gave him that type of love and support. And so I appreciate each and every one of you for the circle of love and support you provided him throughout his beautiful life. One of my fondest memories of Andrew, and I had a great talk with a group of gentlemen, is the summer before transitioning from high school into college. I worked at Berkeley Tuolumne Camp over in Tuolumne Meadows, and a group of peers came up and cooked in the kitchen with us or did some menial maintenance. But they got to play in some staff versus camper volleyball. Just the carefreeness of jumping off of cliffs in the rainbow pools, getting back home before we all packed up to head off to our college ways, going to Stinson Beach as many times as we possibly could. Those memories I will keep for the rest of my life. Getting to live with Andrew, and I know we talk about going to fancy dinners and things of that nature. If you know his IG handle being Cordon Drew, there's that for a reason. Not only did he go to culinary school, but he was an amazing, amazing chef. Not only because of the knife set he bought himself, but because of the time and attention he took on everything. And he would tell you why to mince something or to julienne something or this new wave of sous vide and why you should or shouldn't do it to certain types of cuts of proteins. His attention to detail was second to none. For those who went to El Cerrito with me, go Gauchos. You see it. To those who went to UC Berkeley with him, go Bears. And to the K through 12, right, from Kensington to what's that other middle school besides Adams? Yeah. He touched each and every one of us in his own profound way to each and every one. So much love to each and every one of you. I don't have a bunch more words, but just wanted to come up here because Andrew's with us here today, and I think you all know that. So thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Ben Stallworth. I played ball with Andrew. Know him since middle school. I met him in 7th grade. So I feel a need to, kind of talk on Kenny right now because it was Portola Middle School. And I was aware of, I didn't call him Drewy Andrew, except for when I was upset with him. I called him Drewy. And those who heard the name before, I call him Drewy because Cathie called him Drewy. So I was aware of division problems because we had woodshop together. In that class, I just showed him different ways to take measurements, how to do the math, hold your hands this way, don't do that with this tool. So it was a lot, just knowing him and Cathie. Cathie opened her house to everyone that loved Andrew, that he loved as well. So a lot of sleepovers, a lot of Cal football games. The meals, we cooked many a times together on the grill. It was a lot of good times. So with what he was battling over the years, I wasn't really gonna say it, but the family mentioned it. I noticed in college, he never recovered after a breakup, and it just seemed to spiral from there. So In the final months, we tried to get him to move back home. Hardest moment for me with him was when Cathie took her last breath, watching my friend break down in the hall. So that was rough. For those of you that know him, I called Kenny within that hour, and we knew that the countdown for our friend had begun. He had been fighting us for years, so we were hoping he would pull through. I asked him several times to come back home. You know, if you're gonna work on Cathie's, stay there. Be there where someone can get to you. But La Jolla was where he wanted to be. So I told myself I wasn't gonna shed a tear. I did that while he was still living because he made some comments that bothered me. And yeah, he did have a way of uplifting people around him, but he came down on himself so harshly over the years. To see someone so strong, but so weak in other areas because he didn't see the value properly in himself. It bothered me and everyone around him that cared about him. So, you know, I'm gonna do my best to keep it together. Still have not shed a proper tear yet because I'm pissed off at Andrew. Yeah, love him. He was a great brother. Cathie, miss her as well. Like I said, she opened her door to a lot of people, a lot of trust. I mean, a lot of us were kids from the hood, growing up in Richmond. So for her to open her door to us, to me at a young age, it meant a lot. It showed me that from different walks of life, you can find love from anyone, different shade complexions, just different upbringings. She took me to a lot of events at the Claremont, art shows, different fundraisers. She was Mary Velcerito when I met her. So in return, when it came to the football field, I was the first person to lay Drewy out. Several people got hit by me, and it was all out of love. I was known for it, and I told Drewy the main thing I needed to do was to see you get up. And that's what he did. He got up. When it came to, you know, him earning the position as tight end, he earned that position. And I said, if you can't see, just always keep your hands out, and that ball will get there. So it was a long struggle. So for knowing this man for 30 years, this was not the final call I wanted to get. My heart dropped when Kenny called me that Thursday and we sent that wellness check. So when I got that call early that Saturday morning, I already knew what it was before you said it, because this had been going on for quite some time. So just remember the good times. I have many, but a lot of it, some of it I said this morning with the group when we had lunch. So just remember the good times. Smile. That's what he would want. And yeah, just keep your heads up. Everybody will be okay. It's a lot of new faces here, but you know, some of you that know me know that I left him like a brother. Risked my life several times to make sure he got home. So it's been a journey. So everything will be okay. All right.
Many of us were together in this place 2 years ago, honoring the life of Andrew's mother, Cathie. Leading up to that event, I spent some time with Andrew, and I really enjoyed getting to know him. Even as he carried heavy burdens, Andrew truly sparkled with the joy of life. He knew he was loved. And you who are gathered in this room, all of you together, because it does take a village, you loved him well. Love does not require perfection. From its giver or from its recipient. And love is never wasted. As Andrew's body rests in peace, the life energy that was in him, that was him, lives on. Andrew, like every person in this room, was a beloved child of God, with goodness at the core of his being, created in the divine image of love. While the suffering he carried has ended, the loving energy that was his truest self will never die. This light, this good and loving energy that is Andrew, remains in the lives of all who knew him and loved him, and has a forever home in the heart of God. I invite you to join me now in a moment of prayer. Loving God, we thank you for Andrew's life, for all the goodness, light, and love that shined through him, for the years, moments, and memories shared, for the times he carried the burdens of others, and for all who helped carry his. We ask for your comfort today, your presence and help in our moments of grief. Give us patience and grace for one another. And as we continue to share space, time, and stories, may Andrew's memory be a blessing, and may his light and love live on. Amen. Thank you again for being here today. I want to invite you all to the social hall just through those double doors and on through the next for a reception following the service. May the grace of God surround you, the peace of God fill you, and the love of God sustain you now and forevermore.